So this was a little video by Claire, Smurfy Girly Claire, just one fragrance, one season. I don't know what the heck it's called. I'll pop it up. Just, you know, a fragrance for each season. Brief, nice and easy, festive period friendly, because it's so short and brief. Not going to go into loads of detail. Obviously it's me, going to do it kind of indie style, and that's got to be the focus as the new year comes in of my kind of thing, isn't it, really? Well, maybe more so than normal, but I will get cracking on. This dog seems to be not leaving his goods anyway, let's get on with it. So first up, the year starts with the season that we're in now, doesn't it? This beautiful, miserable, dead season of winter. Saying that, we do need, you know, let's face it, we need some snow, because there ain't much dead, is there? But that will come. It comes quite late here. There is a storm, so hopefully the wind isn't too bad. But yes, for winter, what have I picked? Well, it's from a British indie brand called BedeauX, and that's from Amanda Beadle, based down near South in Brighton, where there's quite a few great perfumers actually, I think. And yeah, oh, sugar. So these are probably going to be fragrances you've heard a bit about before, and I've mentioned again and again. So I picked Hoboo, which is something to do with an owl. And it's basically this kind of dark orangey, ambery kind of feel of one. And it's it starts off with this kind of spiced dark orange, hence winter. And then it kind of gets richer and richer. I think there's some sort of resinous notes in there. There's that kind of warm, ambery richness. But that orange kind of stays right throughout it, and the spices. And it's just this beautiful, warm, ambery fragrance. It's not really like one I've ever smelt before. Again, does stand out a bit. The orange is, you know, something that we're quite used to, that kind of darkness. But the way it mixes with the woods and all the other things in there, just gives it this cosy, beautiful feel. That by all means, this one also can be worn in the warmer weather. It doesn't wear too heavy, but it's like a cozy kind of blanket around you. Such a beautiful fragrance. So that is a Hoboo from BedeauX. For spring is another Brighton-based brand in the UK, actually, unusually, and that's called Hal of Hove, and the fragrance is called KIS, stands for Keeping It Simple. And this is one that, I don't know, it's actually the first one I tried from the brand, and it just kind of has this beauty about it. It's very simple, very elegant, like it suggests. And what it is it's like a fresh oud, like a fresh, airy, effervescent oud. And she said that that's obviously why she used this particular oud in it. And it's obviously got touches of spice running through it. I think there might be a kind of a rosewoody feel, if I'm right, possibly, giving it that, you know, it has that kind of woody, elegant class through it. Is the cardamom, something like there's some sort of fresh, vibrant scent, spice there, and it's beautiful. It's one that you think in an oud, walking round like a fresh spring Indian forest. You know, like a nice breeze running through there first thing on a morning. Lots of dew, the sounds of the birds, the sounds of the... Alright, their rivers probably aren't as polluted as that one. That kind of feel, and it's just beautiful and relaxing and calm. Like, oh well, you didn't see the drip on the puddle there, but that kind of feel, just the beginning of a day where everything's starting to come alive, like what spring is. So that's KIS from Hal of Hove. Summer is too. One I won't go into too much detail with because I mentioned it before, but it just is, you know, me and freshies are so rare that I thought I'd do two for it. Oh my word, it's just practically flooding here, isn't it? Yeah, these storms have been bad. But yes, the first one up is from Aromatics, which are a German-based brand, and Tanja Boschnik is the perfumer, and she's pretty damn fantastic. And they're all kind of centered around moments and natural kind of smells that transform you. And this is one I have mentioned a lot, but I just think it's so good. As someone who's not a fan or a friend of citrus, generally speaking, this is just so beautifully done. And that is a Wild Summer Crush, which is basically this beautiful kind of red, pink, whatever you call it, where you're from, grapefruit, and like a warmer resinous base. There's other stuff in there, you know, along with it. There's some florals, this is some woods, etc, etc, but basically what it is this kind of golden orange hue, a proper summer's day sunset, just where the whole sky is that orange, and it's warm, and it's get all them fresh smells of the flowers and the fruits in the air, juicy, dripping. The grapefruit is just, it's not too bitter, obviously, with it being a red grapefruit. It adds that zesty freshness, mouth-wateringness about it. And part two slash is from a brand again I discovered this year, also based in Brighton, oddly. That's Mabelle O Rama, and it's called A Star at the Darkest Bloom. Now this one, oh my, this one is again all about these kind of tropical, rich, thick florals with the kind of freshness of the fruits running through it. It is not exactly like, you know, every tropical fragrance can start to smell the same. This has a certain kind of, again, dark orange feeling mixing with them, like a tiare, more so than maybe a frangipani and things like that. And it kind of has them magical beachy, you know, florals. I don't think there's coconut in this one actually, and the fruits are kind of a more darker, sweeter feel. It's not one I need to go through note by note in this. You kind of get the idea of it, but like a sunset, and I think it's based on some goddess, and obviously the name gives the clue, Darkest Bloom. It's a tropical evening scent, you know, where the vampires are out munching on their dark, dripping, magical sweet fruits. It's beautiful. So that's a start, the Darkest Bloom from Mabelle O Rama, and I suspect this is going to be like some of the other new ones in here, a brand that's just going to explode and be kind of massive. Well, hopefully, anyway. And finally, for autumn, I've gone for Petticoat Lane from One Way Bridge. As we know, this is one of my favourite brands out there. This is a kind of a newer one this year that I've not really spoken about too much. But this one is kind of opens with this gorgeous booziness. You know, kind of leather boots, a long leather jacket, a kind of classy, sophisticated. I always think of like the misses of Top Shelf. It's kind of, it's much cleaner. There is a nice muskiness in there, but this is about the leather and the booze, and there's a kind of lacy feel through it as well, which is really quite gorgeous. And then it kind of morphs into this to kind of whiskey in a bookshop or a library. The leather gets more kind of like that, like a book, obviously. Another river. And it's just really kind of magical. It's sexy, but it's kind of elegant and classy, but it still has that little bit of, at least puts this character into fragrance. It's this little bit of some kick, some personality, where you can imagine the people wearing this. And like I say, long dark hair, long leather jacket, long boots, kind of a little bit wild but still deeply intellectual, you know, reading books, that kind of thing, you know, the big blue eyes of a warm wonder with a little sparkle of cheekiness in there. They could equally have a nice conversation with you about philosophy or science. At the same time, they would push all these books over and make a bed from them. It's that kind of personality about the fragrance. It's beautiful again, and Elise has a certain touch with the boozy notes and her musks that just create a kind of magic. So that's Petticoat Lane from One Way Bridge. Yeah, so it's a brief one. Obviously done a few videos like this, kind of a popular kind of format, isn't it? I've probably done indie as well, who knows. But this isn't going to be a sign of the future. I know I can't do these brief videos very well, so they'll probably be much longer in future. But I hope you either have a good new year or have had a good new year, whichever way this comes out. Where do you see your 2024 going? What are you looking forward to trying? What fragrances, if you just had to pick one for each season, which I didn't because I cheated again, what would you pick? Alright folks, thanks, bye.